Afros in the Diaspora, and today we have Thulani, aka T. Octavius. He is a writer of South African and Zimbabwean heritage based here in Canada. Mr. T. Thulani, T. Octavius, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm good. I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, so am I. I'm gonna fail the trivia probably 100%, but I mean,
Why would you speak such negative words over yourself? I don't understand.
I left early. I left home early. I was young, but I'm here. Let's
Okay.
try it. Let's go for
That's
it.
I mean, I'll try to go easy on you. But
Thank
I
you.
I mean, me going easy on you, you may not see it that way, but I'm trying my best.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. So, because you're from two African countries, I'm going to mix it a little
Mm.
bit.
Oh, hold on.
Okay?
Wait. I'm mostly Zimbabwe. I know nothing of of my South African heritage. I can. Uh,
Wow. Okay, fine.
Okay, not answer any questions. I'm sorry, my South African side, forgive me. Uh, uh, I was raised in Zimbabwe, and
But
that's the best I can say.
were you raised Zimbabwean in Zimbabwe or were you in South Africa?
I was raised Zimbabwean in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Both ways. I lived there for 7 years and then dipped.
And then
So,
dipped?
mhm.
Okay. Fine. So I'm gonna start with simple things, simple-ish,
Okay,
Gonna try.
okay.
What is the country's capital?
Harare.
Okay. Spell Harare for the people at the back.
Harare. That's where
Okay.
I was born and raised.
Born and raised. Awesome.
Hmm
Okay, so what is the name of the tallest mountain in Zimbabwe?
I think it's called Mount Nyangi, if I'm correct.
Yanga. I think
Nyang
I think Yangani.
Nyangai or Nyangi, something like that. Mm.
Yangani. Mount
Nyangani,
Yangani.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mount
yeah, yeah.
Nyangani,
Yeah, that's it.
I
Okay.
point.
Point for
I'll
you,
take my
point for
point for
you. Now I'm just trying to find okay. My goodness. There are no easy ones in my opinion. I mean, like, I'm not from there, but like all right.
it.
What's the name of the most popular fish in the Highlands?
What kind of question is this?
It's a game fish. It's any guesses?
I plead the fifth. Oh,
The fish.
what? I plead, I plead the fifth. What?
Not the fifth. Okay, the answer
Oh
to that
my
one.
days.
The answer to that
Oh
one
my.
is
Mm.
days. The answer to that is trout.
Oh, that was actually on my mind. Yeah, that was Trump was on my
Look at
mind, but
you. Look at
I
we
was
say
like,
lie, we don't believe you. It was not on your mind
ah.
anything. You're lying.
I don't
It's not
lie,
true.
don't lie. I thought it was Trump in my mind, in the
Oh,
back of my
es-
mind. Yeah.
so why did you say it?
I was nervous. Yeah. What if I said something silly and then like people
I
don't?
mean, you won't get all the answers right. That's okay. Just, if you feel like something is an answer, say it.
I will second guess myself again. Yeah, I'm coming for these
Mm.
answers. Hey,
Describe the Zimbabwean flag.
it goes green, yellow, red, black, and then the reverse order of that because I'm not gonna remember right now. And
Got you.
then there's a white triangle to the left of it, and then the Zimbabwean bird, like a golden bird.
What kind of
Yeah.
bird is it?
Uh People say it's an eagle fish, but it's really based on the statue that you can find in the Great Zimbabwe, like the ruins of Great Zimbabwe. So no one really knows, but people say eagle fish. But
Yes, eaglefish. I had someone on the podcast say that Kay the Chosen, who is also from
yeah,
Zimbabwe,
I saw it. I saw the I saw.
and he was
I was
like, "It's a
like,
chicken."
it's
I'm
a
like, "Wait
chicken.
a minute, not a
He said it's a
chicken."
chicken. I said, my brother. I was like, you know what? I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Not a
Good.
chicken, not a chicken. But yes, correct, correct, correct. What is the name of the biggest river in Zimbabwe?
Arriba.
Mm-mm. No. One
River?
more try. Yeah, river.
Oh, that was a lake. I was thinking the lake. Why am I thinking Zambezi? Hold up. No, it's not that.
It's not Zambezi though.
Ooh, you got me on the river one. I can't lie.
It is the Save River.
Oh, yeah. Why do I know the
Hmm.
lake but not the river?
I don't know who asked you about the lake, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a relative of mine was just
Okay,
you.
next question. I think I'll ask you just like the last two questions.
Hmm.
What is Zimbabwe's area code?
Ah, I actually don't know yet. I have so many of my relatives on WhatsApp.
You don't know?
I don't know. Like genuinely,
Wow.
for the life of me, I see the number and I'll be like, yeah, it's from Zimbabwe. But if you if you
But you
ask me
can't register,
to tell you,
right?
I can't process it right now. It's not process.
Wow, it is
I
263
yeah. See, if I
plus
saw
two
that, I know. Plus 260. If I see that, I know.
263.
If I see it, I know it. But right now,
But
it was not processing.
okay, well, I'm
It was not.
I'm glad you now know it, so that next time we can process, I guess. But yeah, no, that's the area code. And my final question for you will be about South Africa. You're just gonna have to
Oh,
rep your.
oh,
I don't know
Lord
if
have
it's that's
mercy.
your father's side. You're gonna have to rep them for a
And
second.
that's my father's side. Lord have
Yeah.
mercy. Please forgive me. Yeah.
Please forget. Okay. Um, what color
Mm.
is a? It's also a royal house in the Netherlands and a river found in South Africa. It is also the name of a fruit.
It's a color?
Yeah, what color?
Hey, hold up. The royal house?
Yeah, it's the name of a royal house in the Netherlands, which I mean, who knows that? But it is also a fruit, and it is also the name of a river in South Africa, a major river in South Africa.
Okay, the only thing I can think that's a fruit is an orange, but
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it. The Orange River. Yeah, look at you
Oh, yeah, rep. I know my
repping.
people.
You know your people by
I know
accident
my people. I
because you got that. You got that by accident.
know my
My
people.
days.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Let me
No.
ask you. Let me ask you this bonus round. We can't talk about South Africa
Mm,
without talking about this person, which is already a hint.
mm, mm.
What is the name of the Nobel Prize winner, Nobel Peace Prize winner, who was elected the country's president as the first
We're
indigenous head
already
of state?
talking. My tribesman, Nelson Mandela. We love
Okay.
him. Let's
We
go.
all right. All right. All right. You got it. You got it. That's good. That's good.
Rep it.
Repping. An icon, a legend, an
Mm,
inspiration. Awesome.
always,
Okay.
always.
Now we're gonna dive right into the riddles. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Are you ready?
No, but I don't have a
I,
choice. We'll go for it.
I I'm gonna ask you this. This one I literally like I've asked this on the riddle on the podcast before. So if you don't get it, that means looking at you side eye. But where can you finish a book without finishing a sentence?
Where can you finish a book without finishing a
Yes.
sentence?
And you're an author, so where can someone pick up your book and read it
Hmm.
without finishing a sentence?
How much time do I get to think about this one?
You, in fact, going.
Am I dumb? Sha, I don't know. Ah,
The answer is a prison because they can finish a book, but
ah.
they're still, finishing their
I,
sentence. A prison sentence.
Ah,
So yeah, that's
a
it.
bombastic.
Bombastic. Awesome. Okay. Next question. You walk into a pitch black room. It is dark.
Hmm.
However, you have only one match. You have some
Hmm.
newspaper, a candle, and some firewood in front of you. Which one should you
Hmm.
light first?
I want to say match, but is the match lit up though?
That's
Like,
the answer. You light the
that's
match
the
first.
answer, right?
That's the
Yeah, because
answer. Good job. Okay. This is a very common one, but I'll ask it anyway. What gets wetter and wetter the more it dries?
I would think a towel, no? But
A towel. Okay.
yeah.
Mr. T Octavius, you are on fire. See, you are on fire right now. Good job. That was good.
We use that.
Uh-uh.
The first one is
Not
the
for
only one that caught
yourself.
me off guard.
The
Hey,
first one, I'll give you that first. I'll chalk it up to like nerves, or you were shy. So
I wasn't ready, you know? Mhm.
so that's good. That's good. Like you actually did really, really good. Well done. Well
Thank you
done.
so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and that's the end of our riddles and trivia section. And thank you for engaging with me in that. Um,
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
so Tulani, let's start with your story, your immigration story.
Mm.
Would you mind just sharing that with us? It's been
All right.
established that your mom is Zimbabwean, your father is South African, but you were raised
Hmm.
Zimbabwean.
All right. So, um, okay, we already established this. I am
Hmm.
Zimbabwean born. I was born in Harare, and I was raised by my mother's side, which is the Zimbabwean side.
Hmm.
So all I've known for during that time period for 7 years was just um, the Pasipamire side, which is my given name. And then from then on, I moved from Zimbabwe to the United States. I was supposed to live in England, but a lot of Zimbabweans over there, so we right, we moved elsewhere. Um, I lived in North Carolina for what was about 3-ish years, and then from there on moved to New York, and then we moved here to Calgary. So it's been continent to continent, country to country, and I've been living here since 2008.
Mm.
So it's been a journey. Most of my life has now been Calgary.
Here in
Yeah,
Calgary. Wow,
yeah.
that's really cool. So how did you get into writing? What inspired it? What was the thing that was like, a writer in me, I see. Let me pick up my pen because it is greater than the sword or whatever. Like, what was that like for you?
I think for me it would have been well, I need to state this first. I hated reading. I
Hmm.
hated reading as a child. So I never would have penned myself to be a writer at all. But my
Hmm.
mind has always been very active and imaginative. So it began when I would say grade six, when they had you doing all those writing classes and making up stories and all this and that. So my teachers always loved my stories. So it was something that apparently I was just good at, but I never penned myself to dive into making those type of worlds seriously until I met an author, literally in grade seven, the year after. Grade seven or eight, I'm not sure. And just seeing the way he was speaking about his novels, the way he like his thought process, it made me pick up his whole entire series. And then from then on, I've been reading and writing ever since. It's been a journey. So yeah, it started fairly young.
Fairly young. So
Mhm.
right now, because I was on your website, I was like, it's a whole thing, man. So like, you have a novel out, and it's titled
Mhm.
Heir Apparent. And it
Mhm.
it seems like it is part of a series.
Yes.
And may I just ask you what inspired that particular work? Like, what was the thing that was like, you know what, this story is ready for the world to read it. Like what was the thing that inspired that particular? Um,
COVID. COVID inspired
mm,
it. But um I think this particular story, uh, in general, was something that I had been working on for a very long time. It really switched a lot, I will lie, because it's based on Greek mythology, but at some point it was a fusion of Greek and Egyptian mythology. So a lot of things happened to make it what it
Mm,
is today, but I found the time during COVID to actually write it because I was being compelled. Lord have mercy, I was really being compelled, having dreams, visions on this. I could not
oh,
eat without thinking about it. It was so bad. It was so bad. So
wow.
so it was during that time where it really pushed me to be like, okay, I need to write it. And I have a best friend who's an actor, and he was also the one that was pushing me to also get it out there as well. So just great timing, I can say, just great timing.
So you before you eat, you will first of all see it. You could not sleep, you could not eat, you could not. The
I
story was just
I
saying,
would
write
be
me, write me,
I would
write
be
me,
in the
write
shower
me.
and imagining it. So like it was bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like when that happens, then it's time. It's like
Mm,
the world needs
yeah.
this. Come on, like
Yeah, that's
yeah,
how that's how it felt. That's how it felt.
that is awesome. So, oh, okay. I don't, no spoilers, obviously. If you grab your copy now, it's available everywhere. Okay, dear listeners, go on the internet, and in fact, we'll get to his website and all that. He'll leave all that information with us today.
Mm,
But we've talked. I mean, you've shared about your heritage.
hmm
How how do you feel like you have been able to, how has that affected, I guess, your worldview, and how does it affect your writing? How does it affect maybe your style, inspirations, stories you write about? How would you say that your place as a Black man, you're an immigrant living out here in North America, but you're also South African and Zimbabwean, like how would you say those things impact your writing, and how does it show up in the way that you make art?
Mm, I think it makes me very cultural driven because all my
Mm,
stories or even the way I just approach life, I have this tendency of trying to get to understand other people's cultures, and I have
mm,
this penchant for traveling. I love traveling because I love
that's awesome.
getting intertwined with everyone's cultures and understanding it and learning it. That's why
Hmm.
I got into Greek mythology in the first place, and then from then on was studying the history of how like their past and everything
Hmm.
like that. And even for no spoilers, there's another series in the
Yeah.
works right now as well. But even with that, it's taking a lot of you could say Eastern traditions, like and Western
Hmm.
traditions, and just mingling it all in one. And that just shows that I'm a very cultural person because I come from a very culturally diverse background.
Hmm.
And for me, family, you can also see it in my works, is like family is a very big, important topic for me as well. So a lot of my works also touch on family topics very heavily because it can be very diverse with what you experience and all that.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah, it's definitely, I think my background has definitely impacted the way in which I think and the way which I write
Hmm.
because my experiences are vastly different from other people, especially
Of
with the fact
course.
that I haven't lived in one country for long until I came here. So I've always
Hmm.
been kind of bouncing around and I travel quite a bit. So I've been around a lot. So I get to experience a lot of things that most people haven't. So
Hmm.
and yeah, it's all in all, I love it. I love my
Yeah.
culture. I love my ethnicity. It's so fun. It's so fun.
What is your favorite thing about your Zimbabwean heritage and your South African heritage?
Um, don't quote me on the South African one. Don't
No,
quote
but
me
it's
on
your
that one.
it's your favorite thing. It can literally be on my piano. Like it's just, what's your favorite thing?
It is on my piano. I'm
It
not gonna
is
lie. Oh, the
about.
dancing. No, it's probably like the dancing aspect. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a very big dancer, but even Zimbabweans
Oh, that's
dance a lot
good.
too. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that can be, if that's intertwined to just being Zimbabwean or not. But it's definitely the dancing aspect. But for me, the Zimbabwean one, because it's mostly what I know. It's the whole aspect on family. And I think the major difference between what people experience in their culture for family and my culture is very different because we tend to be we cut those terms that make it seem that family is distant. Like we don't use the term second cousin, third cousin, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we kind of make that divide where it's like we tend to call each other the brother, sister, uncle. It makes it very personal,
Mm-hmm.
even when you don't know, let's say a stranger in Zim, they'll call you something very familial
Mm-hmm.
because it's kind of the way we grew up. Everyone is kind of, in a sense, family. It's we treat each other as family with with that respect. So I love that aspect of my Zimbabwe culture.
That is really cool. I thought you were gonna say like the food.
Nah, nah,
'Cause
nah. There's
I've heard
definitely
incredible
family
things
aspect.
about the food.
Zimbabwe food is great. I love Zimbabwe food, but nah, it's that aspect for sure.
That's really cool, and like it's also it speaks a lot to you. It's really it's awesome when people are able to hold on to those like cultural values
Mm,
that root a lot of like traditions and cultures in Africa. So I love that like that's your favorite thing about your culture. That's really cool. Okay, another question.
okay.
What keeps you motivated as a writer? Like what's
Mm,
because it sounds like the time when you got inspired when the lights sparked or whatever in your
mm,
brain to like writing, I love this, I want to do this, even being inspired by that mentor writer that you met at such a young age, what has kept you motivated up until now to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm ready to write something and actually like put it out into the world, and what motivates you to keep going?
it would definitely be. All right, this is very ambitious, but probably not ambitious enough to be honest. It's the idea of me wanting to eventually turn one of my stories into either a live action or some sort of adaptation. So that's one of the things I
Yeah.
want to eventually do. So
Yeah.
short-term goal for now. Short-term goal for now.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
even mimic that in the way I write because
Hmm.
when people read my stories, they say it's very um, detailed in the way I use imagery. So it's like my favorite type of book is when I can read it and I can imagine everything happening in my mind, like it's a movie, like a film playing in your mind, right? So I
Hmm.
write in that sense. So I
Hmm.
make it very easy for this to be adapted one day. So if
Okay.
you're hearing me, Warner Brothers, Disney, I'm talking to
Okay.
you.
Warner Brothers, Disney, Netflix, like
Five,
Prime, all of
yes,
y'all. All y'all. Every
oh
single
yeah.
one of you. And by the way, I'm a director, so hey, holla.
We'll be
Holla.
talking. We'll be talking.
That's awesome. Okay, okay. So I what I don't know if you actually answered the question, so I'm gonna ask it
I don't
again.
know if I answered either.
Why? Because I read some of those reviews, some of the reviews, and you are so right. Like people are like, I didn't even have to like. It was so easy to imagine the world you're trying to create, which I think is
Mm,
it's awesome. I'm a very like visual and imaginative like person as well. I'm an artist, so I kind of have to see it. But I was
mm.
curious about what motivates you to keep writing. What is that thing? And I know you just touched on a goal that like you would like to achieve, and in the name of Jesus it will come to pass, you know.
In the name of
But I'm
Jesus,
really,
absolutely.
yes, yes,
Mm,
but I'm really curious, like what keeps you going, like what is that thing that's like that what is that thing that keeps you going?
okay. Answering it seriously now, I think for me, the one thing that keeps me going is probably when I look at even the younger writers or even artists, creatives, that have yet to try and do something like this because being a writer is definitely a niche. being a creative is a niche, especially for
Mm-hmm.
African people. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely not something that's seen as stable or uh, I'm looking for a term here. I'm not finding it, so I'm gonna shy away from that. But it's it's not looked upon too kindly, right?
Yeah.
So
It's not
um,
respectable. It's
it's
not.
not respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal is to eventually I think the one thing that pushes me is the fact that I want to reach that point where I can look at other Africans and tell them that, hey, I did it, so I know full well that you'll be capable of doing it as well. Especially when I
Mm-hmm.
have young nieces that are very talented in arts and all that. I look at them and I'm like, I want to be the person that paved the path for them so that they can pursue that if they wanted to, rather
Mm-hmm.
than feeling that they're kind of oppressed. And I'm not saying my siblings are oppressive or anything like that. Love them all. But it's just that African kind of mindset where it's you need to do something more practical in order to achieve success. I want
Mm-hmm.
I want to give them that platform. It's like, you can choose something that's not practical, something that's seen
Mm-hmm.
as a niche and
Mm-hmm.
still succeed from it by being that kind of figure for them. So I think that's
Yeah.
for me right now, that's the one thing that's motivating me.
That's really cool. And like, I don't know. I can't even say it's funny because it really isn't. But it's so interesting how when people hear about, oh, Wale Soyinka, he won the Nobel Peace Prize in this particular year for literature, and
Hmm.
they hear of all these, writers that literally like are brains of their generation and creative minds, um, like Africans have respect. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, he was when he but if you're like, oh, I want to be like Wale Soyinka, I want to be a writer. Eh? He's like, you what?
You
What do you
what?
mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Go and find
It's
something
crazy.
reasonable, Jerry. But it's like it's such a weird double standard, where it's
Hmm.
like they do have respect for people that have done it and
I've
gotten
done it.
there,
Yeah. But they don't
but
want that for
then
their
when
child.
yeah, no, they don't want that for
Hmm.
their child. They're like, who do you know how many writers, so-called writers are taxi drivers today? Do you know how many,
Hmm.
and like it's a reality, right? Because like art making, like for the most part, you still have to pay rent. No one's paying you to write at first, right? Except you
Yeah.
get an awesome deal, which is incredible. But
Mhm.
yeah, there's that thing with practicality or whatever, and my gosh, it can be stressful.
It can be very stressful. Yeah.
Can be really stressful. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so can you tell us when we can expect the next book in the series or your next work, your next novel? Like, when can we expect the part two?
Um, the second part or the second book in the series is probably coming out. I want to say December. I won't give
Oh,
a
okay.
specific date, but
Okay.
December or if things get pushed to the wayside, probably January at the latest. And then for the other series, we're gonna have to wait for any updates on that one because it is in the works. I have been posting about it. I am working on it. So we're working
Yeah.
on two, three books right now. So
Oh,
all will be
wow.
revealed in due time.
All will be revealed in due time. And can we expect a book with like Zimbabwean mythology or South African mythology? Like, are you thinking
There's
of
I'm
bringing it
I'm
over to the
I'm working on
continent at some point?
it.
You're working on it.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on something that will definitely incorporate African mythology and everything like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, we're working
Okay.
on it. We're working
We
on it.
see. I will hold you to it. Oh, I will hold you to it and say you promised us something about Amadioha or any of the other gods.
We're working on it. I promise. We're working
Awesome,
on
awesome. That's really good. Okay, so please, I want you to, share your where people can find your books, where people can find like your website, social media, how people can, get in touch with you, how people can leave reviews if they buy your book and they would like to leave a review, all that stuff. Just let the listeners know about T Octavius, your alter ego.
it. Well, The easiest one would just be going to my website, toctavius.com. And basically everything leading up to my social media and where you can find all the books is there. I'm most active on my Instagram. Kind of not really because I don't really post, but we're working on that too. And that's the T Octavius, I think. I'm not sure. I don't keep up with my social media like that, but
You've got
everything
to.
is really mostly on my website. So yeah,
Okay, so where can people? So that's where people can also find your book to buy. Is it on Amazon? Is it
you
like?
can also find all the links are on there for Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Kobo. Basically, it's on every platform. So the best way to get to that is just going to my website, going to the book section, hitting
Mhm.
a book, the book right now because it's only the one right there, but
The one, yeah.
hitting a book and then it'll lead you to all the links that it's available on, either ebook or physical copies, you name it.
Okay. It's
Mm.
the T Octavius. I just went on Instagram to find your Instagram name. It's
Thank
the
you so
T
much.
Octavius. It will
Sometimes I
be in,
forget.
yeah, it's all good. It will be in the show notes for people that would like to check him out on Instagram. But yeah, Mr. T Octavius, thank you so much again for
Thank you for
coming onto
having
the
me.
podcast. Would you
Mm.
leave us with a word of advice, a word of wisdom, something that we can kind of take with us and say, wise words?
I'll leave with a biblical one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll say that to remember that God doesn't call for the qualified, He qualifies those that He calls. And by
Hmm.
that I mean, do not disqualify yourself from ever trying to achieve anything, trying to do anything, because you never know without trying. So
Mhm.
always put your best foot forward. Try to apply for it, no matter what it is. If you ever consider yourself not worthy or anything of that sort, never think like that. You don't know what opportunity could be waiting for you.
Mhm.
Just try. Just try. That's the best thing I can say. Look at where I am, and I'm still going up. So you never know unless you try, right? So
Hey, thank you so much. God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
it qualifies those that he calls.
He
Yeah.
qualifies those that He calls. Awesome. Thank
Hmm.
you once again, Tulani. Really, really appreciate you coming and sharing your story and a little bit about your process on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Of course. All right. For our listeners, bye. We will see you on the next episode. Toodles.